Hey, what's going on everybody? I hope you're well out there. Today we're gonna make an iced coffee with the AeroPress. Now, when it comes to iced coffee, the AeroPress has been one of these brew methods that has just been really reliable, almost like a fail-safe. I think this is a really easy to troubleshoot recipe and something that you can pick up pretty quickly. I don't know, for some reason the AeroPress is just a very forgiving brewer, especially when it comes to making iced coffee. When you make iced coffee with a Chemex or a V60, and even with an AeroPress, you're using a bypass method, meaning that not all of the water is going to come in contact with the coffee bed. With some other brew methods, this can kind of complicate things and make the extraction a little bit tricky to pull off, making your coffee pretty sour, kind of watery, just overall pretty unpleasant. But for some reason with the AeroPress, it is a bit more forgiving, probably because you have to grind a little bit finer for this method anyway. All right, so I'm gonna start with 20 grams of coffee. And on the fellow oat, I'm usually in between the second and third setting. And for this, I'm gonna grind a little bit on the finer side. So I'm just a little bit north of 2. If you're not using fellow oat at all, that's totally fine. I would go just on a setting that's like slightly finer than what you would normally use for a drip grind. So I'll be right back. Leg over the chair. Okay, here we go. Kettle at 205. Coffee ready to go. And you can take the filter on top of this. I actually found this at a thrift store, believe it or not. This is the fellow Stag something or other. I don't know what it's called because I didn't pay $60 for it. I paid like $8 for it. Definitely nice. If you're really into this sort of aesthetic, go for it. Honestly, I think it's a bit small for what it is. Anyways, we're not talking about that. We're talking about AeroPress iced coffee. So, positioning this guy right around 4, then you're gonna have room, at least a little bit extra room probably for 200 mils of water, which is what we're gonna do. So 20 grams in, 200 mils of water. If you're using really dark roast coffee, you might want to just scooch this up a little bit, but for what we're doing right now, right at the top of number 4 is totally fine. Let's get this guy out of the way. So 20 grams of coffee goes in, as you might expect. Oh, and I'm using the inverted method because I feel like inverted method generally gets a little bit more body in the coffee, so as opposed to the regular upright method. And in this scenario, you really don't want to sacrifice any body. You don't want to leave. you don't want to leave any body behind. Wow, that's a great joke. Yeah, you don't want to lose any body. Oh man, making coffee at 5 o'clock in the afternoon is how you get to be like this. Okay, so 20 grams in. We're not going to leave anybody behind, I guess. And I'm going to go straight in for 200 mils. I'm going to start the timer right when I start pouring. And I kind of like to do this. It feels a little less precarious somehow. And tends to get just about everything. All right, there is 200. Give that a stir to break up the bloom. Now I'm gonna cap this and go fetch us some ice. Oh boy. Okay, so there's 98 grams. Pro tip, get your ice set up before you do this. That's about 1 minute and 30 seconds. This might be a little bit over extracted, or I might change the recipe right here and say that this is it. Give it a little stir just to make sure it's all good. Get your scale out of the way, because you don't want to plunge on the scale. That would be bad. And you just want to use gentle pressure. I'm barely putting any pressure at all on this. I'm just kind of letting my weight rest on it. We're looking at about 2 minutes. Ooh, okay. All right, and that's basically it. At this point, if you want to let the coffee rest for a bit, you'll probably be served pretty well to do that and let everything melt, let everything kind of incorporate and redistribute, restratify. There's a word for it somewhere, but tends to be better if you let this sit for about 5 minutes or so. But I'm going to jump right in and give it a taste to see how we did. Yeah, pretty good. Okay, so normally I would do just 1 minute and then plunge, but 1 minute and 30 seemed to work out just fine. There's no like perceived extra bitterness at all. Okay, so let's talk troubleshooting real quick. Even though I did say at the beginning that this is a pretty foolproof way of making iced coffee, which I still think it is, there are still a couple things that can go awry depending on your grinder and depending on the coffee that you're using. So the first thing I would check is the grind. If it's tasting a little watery, a little bit weak, definitely go finer. If you find it tasting a bit muddy and harsh, check your grinds afterwards. If they look like mud and they have kind of like this weird sheen to it, then you're probably going a little bit too fine, and I would back up a couple of steps. It takes a minute to kind of find that kind of sweet spot, but once you do, you can mark it on your grinder, know where it is, and it's usually, I'd say, like a couple steps finer than your brewed coffee or your pour over. The other thing that you can play around with is the ratio of hot water and ice. So right now I'm doing 2-to-1, the recipe being 20 grams in, 200 grams of water, and then 100 grams of ice. And that's a nice and easy recipe to start with. It's easy to remember because it's just 2-to-1, lots of even numbers in there, so you don't really have to worry about it too much. But if you're not getting enough coffee flavor, and you've tried the grind setting and you've dialed that in and it's still like not quite what you're going for, adjust the ice a little bit, go a little bit less on the ice and go a bit more on the hot water. And you might have to, maybe pre-chill your vessel or brew into something that's, maybe a little bit thicker than glass, just to get yourself a little bit, suck out some of the heat. And that could help you potentially get a better, more rounded cup out of this method. That's starting to taste really good now. Yeah, like I said, if you let this sit for like 5 minutes and then sip it, it's gonna be way better. All right, that is it for me. Thanks so much for watching this video. Please remember to give it a like if you liked it. If you didn't like it, you're probably not watching at this point anyway. But please do hit the subscribe button as well. And let me know if you try this method for making iced coffee. This is one of my favorite methods that I go back to every summer. I do the V60, I do the Chemex occasionally, especially if I need to do coffee for a lot of people. But if it's just for me, or if you can probably squeeze 2 servings out of this. If you really, really want to, this is my go-to. So yeah, again, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace. You gotta wash your beans. And very, very carefully. Oh. Oh my God. I can't believe this. I've done this before on a video. Oh, I forgot to put a filter in. Well, this coffee is gonna taste great. I think you should do it that way. Give this video a thumbs up if you want, and see you next time.